just cover what is Dynamics, what are the modules all about, and what it exactly helps, which module helps you, and look and feel of Dynamics and navigation of Dynamics 365 F&O. Okay, so how to open it? First, let's understand how to open the application. Okay, so as I mentioned yesterday, that it is a cloud hosted application, right? So it's there in the Microsoft data centers where they maintain the servers. You just need to log in. Simple. How to log in? So using any device, from your devices, using any device, you can log in. Maybe your laptop, your desktop, your even mobile is also fine. Okay, or tab, whatever it is. You just need to open your browser and give the URL which is provided by Microsoft. Simple. Okay. The URL that you could see, suppose you have some of those already made as bookmarks over here. You just go and open one of the URL. As simple as that. This is the way. So your login credentials, which you have already used to your PC or your domain, will be taken directly. In case you have logged into another domain and you are accessing the D365 system from which is hosted in a different domain. Say for example, you have logged into your personal PC, but you want to log into Office D365 hosted system. Okay. So in such a case, when you click on this URL or when you open this URL, system will ask your domain, user ID, and password. So provide your domain, user ID, and password, automatically it logs in. Okay. So that's a way. If it is same domain where you are already there, 1 second, guys, 1 second. Sorry, yeah, I'm back. So this is simple login. Okay, once the D365 is logged in, you could see this screen. This is a default screen. At any time, you will see this screen as a system admin. So here again, when you log in, depends on the user privileges. You will get your own screen. So as consultants, we generally log in as a system administrators. So we will have full access to the system. So we log in to this system with full access. So you would see all the modules. Okay, I'll tell you what is module and everything. Don't worry. You would see all the modules. You would see the screen with full of tiles. We call these are tiles. Okay, or we can, if you open each of these tiles, you will have another screen. It will open, that is called dashboard. So I'll explain you what is all this terminology. No worries. Okay, so you will see different screens depends on the user privileges that are associated to the user. Okay. So this is called dashboard. I'll explain. No worries. And once it is opened, you would see modules is one point, and you would see the right, left, sorry, top right. You will see various options over here. So where you will have settings as well. This is settings. So you will do some of those settings, your user option settings, your task recorder. You will understand what is task recorder. Okay, user options means what color theme I want, what size of the screen I want. So different, my own color themes, my own size, my own font size, screen size, I can decide. Screen size I cannot decide, but font size I can decide. Okay. Color themes I can decide. The size here you can see. The preferences, whether your date format you want your own Indian date format, US date format, or Canada date format, whatever the format that you want. So these are the your details, your login details. Okay. In case of workflow, whom you are delegating, all that it will show. I'll explain you, no worries. I'm just giving you look and feel of D365. Each and every option you will understand a bit later. I'm not explaining functionality or options within that. I'm just explaining you look and feel of it. Okay. So this is settings. And then you can see the about D365, about trace. About D365 means you will see what is the application version, what is the license, what is kernel version, platform version, different versions they will maintain. The version details you could see over here. Okay, this is all about. Check out your latest release plans also. You can see when you click on this, automatically it opens the Microsoft website where you will see the news on latest releases. That's a URL. And then if you see this one, it is your user details. So AD, admin. I logged in as admin, therefore I could see my short name AD. The full name that I logged in or my login ID is this one, Contoso D365 at NexGen Solutions on Microsoft.com. This is my login ID which I logged in. Okay. And you would see this one to give a feedback to Microsoft. Whatever you click on this, it will trigger a feedback to Microsoft. That's okay. And this one is messages or notifications. This is more likely useful for end users. If there are any actions pending, if there are any actions pending, so you would see here any notifications, any actions that are pending that user has to take after login. You can go and see that number also it will display. If they have 5 notifications, it will show 5 here. They can go and see, okay, these 5 notifications, they can take action. If any approval is required, if anything is required, they will take action. This is search in case if you do not find a way to go to particularly, suppose you want to enter a sales order. So you don't know, our user forgot to navigate the sales order path. You can directly go and search the path so that you can enter and get the sales order path. Okay. So this one, DAT, you could see, right? This is actually company code where we logged in. You could see multiple company codes here. Okay, some of these are already default. When installed, Microsoft already given this demo data. This is called demo data. Whatever the names that you could see is demo data, Contoso. Whatever the name you could see with Contoso is demo data. Some of the legal entities we have already configured, like Kia. Okay, you see Kia Automotives Limited, Kia Consolidation. So these are the legal entities we have used it for the previous batches. Okay, so you could work on your own company. So our project. So you should able to do your own project. You should able to set up a system to a new client altogether. Don't use any of this demo data. We are not supposed, supposed to use means for learning sake, we do a project. That project is your own project, your own company you will create, and your own project you will do. Okay. So this is the right side part of your F&O, and left side you have home page where you can, if wherever you are directly you want to move it to home page, you directly click on home, automatically it loads this page. Later I will tell you what happens when you are navigating on, when you are working on something. Okay, so it opens some screen, so all of a sudden you want to move it to home screen. After opening certain pages, certain screens, you want to move it to home screen, simply you click on home screen, it lands on home screen. That's simple. So favorites is basically useful mostly for end users. Reason is they do routine work on daily basis. If a sales order entry person is there, he will do only sales order entry. And if a person who do collections, receipts from the customers, who punch only receipts from the customers, so he will see only the receipts screen where he will enter the receipts. So he will add those screens into favorites. When he add those into favorites, he no need to go to module and go to accounts receivable, go to payments, and go to customer payment journal. So this is all the navigation he need to go to. Instead, he can set it up, this customer payment journal screen, as a favorite because he is regularly using it. Okay, so easy. They just need to just put the star selection. Now this is added to favorites. You see, now customer payment journal is added into favorites. So once this is added into favorites, simple. He no need to go to path and do his work. Okay, so that's a simple way. And all the recent forms, recent whatever you opened recently, it will show you here. 10 forms, maximum 10 it will show. If you have opened 11th form, the first one which you have opened will disappear. So whatever you are working recently, it will open, it will keep it in memory up to 10 forms or 10 screens, so that you can reopen that again quickly. So no need to worry about the main path or going into the main path. Yeah, workspaces. The one which we have seen in the landing page, right? So this is the landing page, our home screen. Whatever you see on home screen or landing page, the bank management, benefits, budget planning, you will see here. Same you will see here. So that is these are all workspaces. That means for end users, for easy management or easy looking easily operating the system. For operating the system easily, they have made it. Suppose a customer payment responsible person is there, nothing but receipts. So he will keep this, he will see all the details of the customers. I'll change the company. This company do not have any data. Any company is fine other than this. Maybe, yeah. You'll see some of the data here. Invoices past due, you could see. So this is a dashboard. Once they click on the workspace, it will open a dashboard where it will give some info. Readily available info the end user can see. Okay. So these are the three customers. They are past due. They were due in the month of October, previous year, October last 2025. So you see, these are the data. Okay. So, and payments not settled if any. Okay. They directly go to customer payments. And if they click on this particular tile, it will open a customer payment journal quickly. That is the advantage of having workspaces. This is user easy navigation. This is for user easy navigation. The workspaces are provided. Okay. Then, if you move on, these are the modules. So whatever so far I explained you, whether it is workspaces, recent, favorites, all these, normally for end user easiness. Then what is that we do? Majorly, we do system configurations. We are not end users. We are not going to use this application at all. We will do setup of this application for the customers who wants this application implementation. Yesterday I told you, right? One example we'll take. So let's say, so throughout our learning, I'll keep one company. Let's say Mahindra Cars. Let's say, especially Mahindra Cars, we are going to implement this D365 system. So Mahindra Cars is going to implement this. You are acting as a consultant for implementation of D365 for Mahindra Cars. You are part of Infosys. Infosys is implementing D365 to Mahindra. That is our assumption. Keep that assumption in your mind. Always you should think in that angle. Okay, keep that in mind. Simple. So you are Infosys employee implementing D365 to Mahindra. So we'll create Mahindra legal entity and do that. Okay. So once that is done, so what are the modules that we need to implement? We need to work on. So what is the agreement between the Infosys and Mahindra? So they wanted to have financial system. They want to have their supply chain system. They want to have this system for their fixed assets management, for their budgeting, for their finance covers everything. Okay, no worries. Supply chain, warehouse management, inventory planning, they want to use it. For their manufacturing, they want to use it. So that's a agreement between Infosys and Mahindra. When the sales are made, they agreed. The contract is signed to implement those functionalities for Mahindra. So among us, some of we are part of finance team. Some people will be there part of supply chain area. Some consultants. Some consultants will be there. Some means depends on the size. I am not telling you one or two. Some word I am using. It depends on the size of the organization. They decide team size. Whether one consultant is needed, two consultants are needed, or 10 consultants are needed in each area. They decide. Planning team, the project management team decide how many people are required to execute this project. Depends on timelines, depends on the size of the implementation, depends on the modules that we are implementing, depends on the location that we are implementing, whether onshore, offshore, where we are implementing it, from where we are implementing it. All those, all those are factors people will consider. Okay. So now, when it comes to the modules, the functionality that we are implementing depends on that we work on the modules. Suppose if you are a finance consultant, you should able to work on accounts payable definitely, accounts receivable definitely, budgeting, asset management is supply chain part. It is a maintenance, asset maintenance basically. It's not fixed assets. Okay. Budgeting, cash and bank management you will work on. Common anyway, it's common. Common means the basic configurations need to be done. Consolidations you will work on. If they have cost accounting also, you will work on the cost accounting, cost management. Expense management is travel expense, not really part of finance. The basically sub area of HR, this expense management. Employee expense reimbursements, travel expense, raising travel requests, all that is part of expense management, not finance. Don't think it is a finance. Fixed assets is finance. General ledger, of course, finance. Okay. Then you will have, if you go down, tax is finance. These are arranged in alphabetical order. These are arranged in alphabetical order. That's the reason you could see modules here and there. So tax is finance. So these are the modules which you work as part of finance. That means you are required or responsible to configure all these modules which I told you now as part of your finance system delivery. What about supply chain? This warehouse management, vendor collaboration, your sales and marketing, rebate management, your product management, procurement and sourcing, your master planning, okay, and then your inventory management. All these are part of your supply chain management or your operations, basically. Okay. Sales, purchase, manufacturing, these are normally called as operations. Oh, then what about others? Yes, we have production, manufacturing, like production control you have, master planning you have. Okay, these are all part of your manufacturing area. They should have understanding of not only that, they should have understanding of the inventory management, they should have understanding of product information management, the production people. Though it is part of supply chain, they should have it. And HR, human resources, you will have leave and absence management, you will have, okay, payroll you will have. That is part of all HR area. I mean, the what I'm trying to explain you, the segregation of work within the specific consulting area I'm explaining you. If you take your finance, you will have limited modules that you need to work on if you are acting as a finance consultant. If you are acting as a supply chain consultant, you will have your own set of modules that you need to work on. If you are HR consultant, those modules that I told you. If you are a retail consultant, you have retail commerce module is there. Okay. So like this, you have different modules for the different consultants. Don't think that for each module one consultant will be there. No, it is area specific, not module specific. Okay. So each functionality is consulting, each consulting area you will have one consultant. Finance, supply chain, manufacturing, all these are the areas. Okay.